Earthquakes are one of nature's most terrifying spectacles, shaking the ground beneath us with little warning. But for centuries, people have told stories of animals seemingly getting the memo before the earth starts to rumble. Whether it's birds taking an unexpected flight or mammals suddenly evacuating their homes, these tales of animal earthquake whisperers have captured imaginations. But can animals really predict earthquakes, or is it just coincidence and wishful thinking? The quest for evidence. The idea that animals can sense earthquakes is not new. In fact, back in 2011, just weeks before a powerful 7.0 magnitude earthquake struck Peru, reports came in of animals fleeing a national park in the Andes. Sounds like a perfect setup for an animal prediction story, right? Yet when scientists dug deeper, reviewing over 700 reports on animal behavior before earthquakes, most turned out to be either single, unverified anecdotes or just folklore. Why is this a problem? Because human brains love patterns even if they're not really there. This tendency, combined with hindsight bias, that annoying habit of thinking things make sense only after they happen, means we can't always trust our memories of the dog was acting weird just before the quake. Tracking behavior over time, rather than relying on people's memories or isolated observations after the fact, scientists decided to flip the script. Instead of asking, did the animals do something weird before the earthquake? They started monitoring animal behavior continuously over months or years, and then checked if any patterns emerged when earthquakes happened. This approach is like setting up a surveillance camera on your pets instead of asking your neighbor if they seemed off after your favorite vase shattered during a tremor. By collecting data in real time, researchers hope to find solid, measurable changes. The curious case of milk and cows in Japan. One study that caught attention took place in Japan in 2014. Researchers tracked milk production in dozens of cows over time. At first, milk yield might seem like a strange way to monitor earthquake prediction, but farm animals are usually milked daily, so it's a convenient behavior to measure. The findings? Cows produced noticeably less milk in the 3 weeks leading up to an earthquake. Why? Nobody knows exactly. Maybe stress? Maybe discomfort? The study didn't have all the answers, but it was intriguing evidence that animal physiology and behavior could indeed be affected before quakes. Fitbit for farm animals. Fast forward a couple of years to Italy, where researchers strapped accelerometers, think of them as Fitbits, for animals onto cows, sheep, and dogs. These devices tracked how much the animals moved over several months. The results were fascinating. About 5 hours before an earthquake, the animals showed significant changes in their activity patterns. What's more, the closer they were to the epicenter, the earlier the changes occurred. This suggests the animals were detecting some signal that got stronger nearer the quake's origin. It's almost like nature's own early warning system, but with wool and hooves. The power of multiple animals and teamwork. The Italian study revealed a crucial insight. Relying on just one species to predict earthquakes is not enough. Different animals have unique ways of sensing and reacting to changes in their environment. By combining data from multiple species, like cows, sheep, and dogs, researchers get a much clearer and more reliable picture of what's happening. It's like trying to complete a puzzle. One piece alone tells you very little, but as you add more pieces, the full image comes into focus. Animals together act as a network of natural sensors, each picking up different signals that, when combined, create a powerful early warning system. This teamwork approach increases the chances of detecting an earthquake before it strikes. It also highlights the importance of studying animal communities rather than isolated individuals. The more species we monitor, the better our chances of spotting the subtle signs of an impending quake. The Space-Age Animal Tracker. Hold on to your hats, because scientists from Germany and Russia launched an ambitious project called Icarus in early 2020. The goal? To tag thousands of birds, mammals, and insects with tiny transmitters that beam data about their movements, activity levels, and even local weather conditions up to an antenna on the International Space Station. Why the ISS? Well, if you're tracking animals across the entire globe, A space-based antenna gives you the best vantage point. This massive project aims to gather huge datasets, letting researchers use AI and computer algorithms to find patterns in animal movements that might relate to earthquakes and other natural disasters. How are animals sensing earthquakes? Even with advances in technology and extensive data collection, scientists still don't fully understand how animals sense earthquakes before they happen. One theory suggests that animals detect tiny vibrations in the Earth's crust caused by shifting rocks, vibrations so subtle that humans can't feel them. However, there's no strong scientific evidence yet to confirm this. Another idea focuses on environmental changes triggered by tectonic activity. When underground rocks grind and squeeze, they can break chemical bonds in minerals, releasing charged particles into the air. This process can electrically charge the atmosphere, creating subtle shifts that some animals might be able to sense. This natural electrical signal could act as an early warning system, alerting animals to an impending quake. While this hypothesis is promising, researchers are still working to understand exactly which signals animals detect and how they respond. Cracking this mystery could unlock new ways for humans to predict earthquakes, inspired by nature's own warning system. Water chemistry, and the extraordinary sensitivity of amphibians. The story of earthquake prediction by animals gets even more fascinating when we dive into the chemistry of water and its impact on sensitive amphibians. When the Earth's crust starts to shift and squeeze in the moments before an earthquake, it can cause chemical bonds in underground minerals to break, releasing charged particles, ions, into the surrounding environment. These charged atoms don't just float harmlessly in the air, they can dissolve into nearby water sources, subtly changing the water's acidity levels. This shift in acidity might be completely imperceptible to humans, but amphibians like frogs and toads have a superpower. Their permeable skin allows them to absorb water directly, making them extremely vulnerable to even minor chemical changes. This heightened sensitivity could explain an extraordinary observation. 5 days before the 2009 earthquake in L'Aquila, Italy, a large group of toads suddenly abandoned their usual breeding pond. While scientists did not measure the pond's water acidity during that event, this anecdote offers a tantalizing clue. It suggests that amphibians may be detecting these environmental changes long before we notice anything unusual, potentially giving us a window into the early signs of seismic activity that humans simply cannot detect on their own. The future of earthquake prediction. So, what does all this mean for us humans, besides making us seriously rethink the wisdom of ignoring our pets' odd behavior? If we can crack the code behind how animals sense these early warning signals, whether it's changes in water chemistry, electrical charges in the air, or subtle vibrations in the Earth's crust, we could develop revolutionary ways to predict earthquakes before they strike. Imagine a global network of sensors inspired by these natural animal abilities, continuously monitoring livestock, wildlife, and even insects, all feeding data into smart algorithms designed to spot warning signs long before the ground starts to shake. This is not science fiction. Projects like Icarus are already working on tracking thousands of animals around the world in real time, gathering invaluable data. Such systems could give communities precious extra hours or even days to prepare and evacuate, potentially saving countless lives and reducing damage. Whether it's a herd of cows, a chorus of toads, or a flock of birds, nature's own earthquake warning system might be the key to unlocking safer, more resilient futures for all of us. The idea that humans and animals could team up in this way is both inspiring and a little wild, but hey, if it helps us predict the unpredictable, why not embrace the wild side? If you enjoy diving into the secret lives of earthquake-sensing animals, smash that like button like a curious cow avoiding a quake. Don't forget to subscribe for more wild science stories that shake things up. Thanks for watching, and stay curious out there.